is Mr. Watlington, and welcome to CIS 150, Introduction to Networking. What I want to give you is just a class overview, some of the things we're going to be doing over the next 5 weeks, all right? All right, let's get into this. First of all, let's just talk about some of our course objectives. Really, what is the purpose of it and the intent of this course is to really provide you some of the basic concepts and technologies and terminologies used in computer networks. This is an intro course, and I know some of you guys out there already have networking experience, which is great. But for the ones who may not, like I said, this is starting at that level. Now, it's also we're going to show you how to connect and configure and troubleshoot some network devices like routers and different types of PCs, computers, modems, things of that nature. I'm going to introduce you to different types of network infrastructure like Cat5 cable, Ethernet, and we're going to talk about security, how to secure a network. Now, a lot of this class is built on a Cisco product. It's a Cisco Academy product called Packet Tracer. Okay, when you look at Packet Tracer, a lot of your assignments are going to be done right out of Packet Tracer. Speaking of Packet Tracer, let's talk about how you're going to access Packet Tracer, because every class, many students have problems getting into Packet Tracer the first time. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the website, right? This website, http://www.netacad.com. When you click on that link, it should bring you to a Cisco page. It looks like this. You're going to go under courses right here. Go into courses, go down to Packet Tracer. Click on Packet Tracer, and it should take you into a screen that shows you how to download, how to enroll and download Packet Tracer. Now, to do that, you may have to go in and take this Packet Tracer introduction course, which I recommend doing because it walks you through Packet Tracer and how to use this network simulation tool. Now, once you get access and you download Packet Tracer, every time you click on the icon, you're going to see this screen right here. You're just going to type in your email address and your password, and it should take you into Packet Tracer. And when you open up, this is what Packet Tracer looks like. Like I say, it's a network simulator. Now, this tool is something that we use in the industry quite a bit, so that you can build a network virtually before you go out and build it physically. So it's a pretty good tool to use. But most of your assignments and a lot of your assignments in this next 5 weeks is going to be done in Packet Tracer. All right, let me talk about the cadence or the weekly components that's associated with this class. Every week, every unit, you're going to have to do some reading. There's a reading assignment, and that is in the ebook. If you go to the modules and you look in that first under unit modules, you're going to see the link for the ebook. Now, the ebook has several chapters, and most weeks you're going to be reading at least 2 chapters. A couple of weeks you're going to read 3, but most weeks you're going to read 2 chapters, and you're going to answer the review questions in the book. And it's the first 10, 1 through 10 of each chapter. You answer the review questions, and you will turn those in. There's an assignment for that. Also, our weekly discussions. Every week there's a discussion topic, and each week you want to go in and be sure that you participate in the discussions. Things to remember, class, foot stomper right here, that your initial post is due by Thursday night. That's your initial post. That means the post that you're going to write yourself, your responses to the questions. Now, I always recommend that you get your post in before Thursday. Now, what happens if you don't? Well, you're going to lose 10 points. Okay, right off the top. Right off the top, you're going to lose 10 points if you post after your initial post after Thursday. Now, the second thing you want to do is be sure that you have responded to at least 2 of your classmate posts. Now, also in this class, how you're going to learn your core competencies is through what we call guided practices. Okay, every unit has at least 1 guided practice. This guided practice is not graded. I repeat, this guided practice is not graded. What this does is teaches you a competency. For instance, this is the first week's guided practice, and it's going to show you in Packet Tracer how to build up and build out a small wireless home network. So this kind of gives you a cadence. Now, after you finish your guided practice, next thing you're going to do is go into the graded exercise. Now, the graded exercise is based on, guess what? You're right. It's based on the guided practice. So if you did good on your guided practice, you shouldn't have any problems going through the graded exercise because it's the same skill sets, the same competencies, the same techniques that you've learned now you're just going to do it in a graded exercise. After you complete the graded exercise, then you're going to complete the phases of your project. Each week there's a different phase. There's 5 phases to this project. Now, so that gives you the flow, right? Guided practice, graded exercise, project. And you're going to get into that cadence every week. All right, speaking of the project, okay, let's roll into that. I want to walk through each week and kind of show you what you're going to be doing. Now, what is the objective of this project? This project is a scenario. And the scenario is that you're going to be setting up a network in your neighborhood. You got about 6 houses in your neighborhood that you're going to connect. Okay, and you're going to start building small, but each week it builds. And so this is a progressive exercise. Now, some of the things that you're going to be exposed to in the process of doing this, things like different protocols. You're going to be exposed to routers and modems and things of that nature. You're also going to be exposed to protocols like dynamic host protocol, DHCP, or domain name service. Learning how to do static IP addresses. You're going to learn subnet masking, default gateways. Don't worry if you don't know these things right now. It's okay. That's why you're in the class. We're going to go through and we're going to discuss those things. So for phase 1, this is what you're going to build. You're going to build a wireless home network within Packet Tracer. And you're looking at this wireless, this is very similar to what most of us probably have in our homes right now. We have some type of network that looks like this. We've got a router, a wireless router. You know, that could be a Cisco router. It could be a whatever brand. But this is Packet Tracer, and Cisco owns Packet Tracer. They are using their Cisco router. Okay, but connected to that router, you're going to connect a smartphone, a printer, PC, a laptop, and a tablet. Now, notice the printer and the PC, they are connected with wire, that hard wire. That's what that is. That's connected with Ethernet. These other devices, they are connected wirelessly. So that's your home you're going to build the first week. Now, some of the other things you're going to learn in the process is how to configure your PC. Just like you would do at home, that you got to set up IP addresses, subnet mask, decide if you're going to operate with DHCP and some of these things. So we're going to walk you through that process. Now, something very important that you're going to learn, if you don't know it already, is this utility we call ping. Now, what ping is, this is a utility that's built into your operating system that allow you to be able to talk from one computer or send a small set of packets to be sure that you have connectivity. For instance, if you look at this diagram right here, I am sending a ping from the PC to the printer. And that's what it shows me, that I sent this ping package from my PC, and I sent it to the IP address of the printer. And you see the responses. So ping goes out and it sends a response back. That way I know that my connection is made. So as you go through these phases and you build out this project, you're going to be using ping quite a bit to just ensure that you have connectivity. All right, as we go into week 2. Week 2, okay, now we're going to take this a step farther. Now we want to be able to connect our home wireless network to the internet, because it's not much fun just having a network at home unless you can go out to the internet, right? So we're going to connect that. For this week, we're going to connect it using DSL. If you're not familiar with DSL, it's a digital subscriber link. That's where we use telephone, the regular telephone system, to run our internet connections across. So you're going to connect up with that. Now, one of the things you're going to require for this is a Packet Tracer package that's already pre-built, that's called corp-dsl-ol.pkt. I am going to provide that to you so that you will have that. And it's going to be in the announcements. Like, so I'm going to send out an announcement with that as an attachment. Okay, thing to remember, Mac users, if you're using a Mac, okay, one of the things that may not work well is opening up 2 windows of Packet Tracer simultaneously. And that's what's required with this network, with this phase, that you're going to have to open up these 2 windows at the same time. So you're going to have 2 windows. On a Windows machine, it works. You can open up this right here, have it running, then you can go open up a second window and load up your multi-user cloud. So that's just a couple things to be aware of. So like I said, in this phase, like I said, we're going to connect up our router now to a DSL modem, and that modem is what connects us to the internet. So if you see this blue, now that is going over here, and this is our internet service provider piece. This is what this is representing. Okay, so where you have 4 peer nodes, and you can go through a switch to a router and actually get out to an internet server. Now, this is how you're going to know that your network is connected all the way through. One, you're going to ping. You're going to have to take one of the devices and ping all the way through this network, all the way to that server. Second thing you're going to do is connect. Once you're connected, you should be able to use a web browser, and you're going to have to go out then to the web page. That web page is actually sitting on that server. So that's how you're going to know that your network is actually working, that everything is connected properly if you get to that web page. Okay, going into week 3. Week 3, now this is where you're going to learn within Packet Tracer how to copy or how to clone your network, meaning that you built it in week 2. Now what we're going to simulate in week 3, that we need to hook up more houses. Let's say you live in a cul-de-sac, and there's 4 houses in that cul-de-sac. Now we're going to connect all 4 of those houses to our multi-user cloud. So as you see now, each of these houses, now each one connects to a different peer node on our multi-user cloud. So that's what you're going to be doing with week 3. Now the same thing, once you get those connected, you'll be doing some pinging to be sure that the connections are made, and also you'll go out to the website and be sure that you can connect up to the page. Okay, week 4, we're doing similar things, but we changed it up. We're not using DSL. Now in week 4, on phase 4, we're going to connect up to the internet using a cable modem. So if you've had an internet service with like Cox Cable or Roadrunner, any of those cable services, this is actually how they work. So when you leave your house, your router, you got a cable modem. If you ever had cable, you had that little device that's set there on your desk somewhere. That was the cable modem. Now that cable modem connects outside of your house, and it goes to a distribution facility somewhere that has this device right here. If you can read that, that is a coaxial splitter. So basically it takes the coax cable, that cable that runs out of your house, and it's going to connect to this device, and that is what gets to the internet. Now this is the ISP side of what you're going to be connecting. Now notice a little bit different from when we were doing the DSL, because now you only have one connection, because this splitter is what does the connections of all your other houses. So and likewise, you're going to go out and hit the website. So pretty much the same thing you did in week 3. Only difference now is that you're just using a cable modem and splitter to connect to your internet service provider, as opposed to going through DSL. Okay, because why? You know that you can get more speed with cable, but in some places you go, cable may not be run there, and all you're going to get is DSL. All right, so going to week 5, we're going to do what we did in week 3. Now we're going to multiply our network. So now I'm going to make a copy of this one network, clone it 4 times, and connect it to our cable provider. Again, see the difference is though, now I am connecting all these together with the splitter, with that coax splitter. That's what's going to connect us to one service point that gets us to our internet service provider. And you should, now once you do that, you're going to go out to a website, a little bit different page with the cable modem, but that's what you're going to see. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what our class is set up like, what the project is like, each phase of the project. This is not hard because it just continues to build on each other. So if you've done well each week with your guided practice, then if you've done well with your guided exercise, the project each week is not going to be a problem. Now, one of the things that you're also going to get some hands-on experience with is that wireless router, that piece that sits in the middle. Okay, when we think about a router, which is a layer 3 device. Now, you may not know what that means right now, but we're going to go through this whole thing called the OSI model, and you're going to become more familiar with things like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 devices. But what a router does, it connects disparate LANs together. You say, what does that mean? I'm glad you asked that question. Well, if you look at in your house, this is a local area network. Before it connects to anything, that was a local area network. When we connected up to our internet service provider, that is what we call a wide area network, or WAN. So that router sits in the middle, and it sits in the middle between the local area network in our house and the wide area network that goes to our internet service provider. So some of the things you're going to do this in Packet Tracer, but you can log into your own router at your house, and we can talk about it and show you how to do that, and you'll see something that looks very similar. So on the LAN side, this is where you set up the IP addresses for all the devices, okay? And for most of us in our homes, we're probably using, if you know it or not, you're using DHCP, the Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, that automatically assigns IP addresses to all these devices. But if you wanted to, you could click that little button that says static, and you could actually go static, meaning that you could personally assign the IP address for each one of those devices. Some people do that. They think it's a little bit more secure. Just depends on your philosophy. Now, on the other side of that router is the WAN side. This is where you get the IP address from your internet service provider. And in this example, I think that's 11.0.0.100. That is the IP address that Cox Cable, that Verizon, if you got Fios, whoever it may be, that's the internet address that they provide you. So that router sits in the middle, and it's what connects this LAN with this WAN. That is the purpose of the router. Guys, you're going to get more in detail on this. You're going to be an expert at this at the end of 5 weeks. You're going to be ready to go out and get you a job with some internet service provider and say, I got this. I know what I'm doing after just taking this class. No, you probably won't do that. You just probably go to the next class, CIS 225. Okay, let's talk about what I call keys to success, all right? Things that me as an instructor personally like to tell you to help you be successful in this class. First and foremost, time/priority management. Guys, please, in any online course, especially one that's 5 weeks long, you've got to manage time and your priorities. Set your priorities. Keep the most important thing the most important thing. Okay. Second thing, with that ties right into that, get your assignments turned in early. Please, please, please don't wait until Saturday night, Sunday morning to get your assignments turned in. Here's why. If you turn your assignments in early, I'll have time to look at them, grade them, because I try to grade as I go. That's my philosophy. Usually the next day if I get assignments. So, and if you got problems, if something's kind of wrong in there, what I'll do, I'll annotate it and I will send it back to you so that you can correct it and resubmit that assignment and get some additional credit for that. If you turn it in late, your grade is what it is, okay? Because I'm not going to be up at Sunday night changing, going back and forth with the grades. So get your assignments in early. Third thing, please, I talked about it earlier, is responding to the post, okay? Please get your initial discussion post in no later than Thursday. Here's why. If you don't, you're going to lose 10 points right off the top. Right off the top. And that's just easy money. You're just leaving money on the table. You're leaving points on the table. So please, let's get your initial discussion post in no later than Thursday night, okay? Along with that, ECPI policy is that you respond to at least 2 of your classmate posts. And I agree with that, but I take it just a step farther. If you want to maximize your grade, if you think about this, just doing the minimum required doesn't warrant an A. So I always say, come on, guys, respond to more than just 2. Do more than just what's required. And I grade accordingly. If you just respond to 2, you're probably not going to get the maximum point grade in that category when you look at the rubric, the grading scale. So, come on, get in and just maintain some good feedback back and forth with the discussion post. All right, last thing, read the announcements. I send out announcements, okay, because that's where I put a lot of information. For instance, the packages you're going to need to complete the project, they're going to be in an announcement. Also, week 1, you're going to need the third octet for your IP address. I'm going to send that out via an announcement. And so all those things are going to be in announcements. If I have to change times for our dial-ins, our weekly dial-ins, that's going to be in an announcement as well. Speaking of that, yes, Monday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time from 7 to 8, that's when I'll do office hours, and that's when I'll do the lecture. Okay, so that's when I will do, a lecture about a topic. On Thursdays, also have a office hour, but I don't lecture. That's just a Q&A time, meaning question and answer. If you have a problem, you can come just dial in, ask your question, talk and discuss what we need to discuss, and drop off the line. But those are my 2 times. So please try to, I know some of you guys are taking classes different nights, and I understand your schedule. But here's what I ask. If you're not participating in the office hours, which is time that I've set aside, then don't be surprised when it's Saturday night and you're having a question and you want me to call you. And I said, well, hey, you haven't attended any of the office hours, and now an emergency on your part, you expect to constitute a catastrophe on my part because you lack a planning. But here's what I do ask. If you can't make it, always contact me via text. Try to contact me early in the week, okay? So that we got time to work through these things before we get to Saturday night, Sunday night, and then everybody is panicking. So we don't want to see that, okay? So here again, it all goes back to time priority management. All right, there you have it. CIS 150. Looking forward to a great class, guys. Have questions, hit me up with on text, email, dial in during our office hour times, and we can discuss these things. Mr. Wallington, thanking you all. Have a great evening, morning, day, whatever time it is.